Hello, welcome back to my mini series. So today I'm gonna squeeze in a couple things into one, but I promise you it's gonna be short and sweet. But we need to get back to the basics of defining self-love, self-care, femininity, and feminine or female goddess archetypes. And I will explain how they all coincide at the end. All right, so self-love, according to the dictionary. We don't have to get all caught up in opinions when it is defined as simply love of self and is an appreciation of one's worth or virtue. Okay, the second part of that is proper regard for and attention to one's own happiness and well-being. And third, inflated love or pride in oneself. If you don't love you, no one else can. Not will, but can. There's different types of love. And you have got to make loving yourself a top priority. It is no one else's responsibility, because the type of love you give yourself sets the standard of what you receive from others, from opportunity to lifestyle and everything in between. And you don't have to agree, but it's just an energy law. You know what I mean? It's just if you don't know that I don't have enough self-respect, you will try to give me anything or do anything to me. And, that can be abused, misused, misunderstood, and everything in between. We don't want that. Okay. Now, the self-care is the practice of taking action to preserve and improve one's health, well-being, and happiness. Did you hear that? Practice? So that means you're ever working on it, ever improving, ever coming back to it. In the medical world, you have doctors that practice. You practice law. These are ongoing things. This is a lifestyle. This is a process. You're always learning. You're always tweaking, always making improvements. It's never set one way. And if you were set in one way, that'd be a little scary, right? Because then there would be no growth and there would be no lessons learned. If we were doing this, if we were practicing the same way we practiced medicine, say in the 1800s, that wouldn't be too good. They had what they had then, and that worked sometimes, but they improved and built off of, learning from the mistakes, learning from plagues and all these different things, and being open. Okay? So, and then the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's well-being and happiness, in particular during periods of stress. Now, if you practice something and you get good at it and you're ever building, you don't retract and get weak. Athletes are always working on their skills and their routines and drills, or whatever they call it. They're never caught slipping, even in the off season. So this is something that, when something does happen, you're ready, you're prepared. This is something that like only you can do for yourself. This on the dictionary, y'all. Okay, so when we understand the foundation of these words, it doesn't say anything about the frou-frou stuff. It doesn't say anything about, materialistic things. It doesn't say anything about, shopping therapy, cars, boyfriends, and money, and all these things. We all know that the things that are most important are the things that are intangible and the things we can't take with us. So you have to work on those things inside of you. They are worth the most. Now, for me and my self-love and self-care journey, I was missing something. And so once I really got into a routine with that, I made it a ritual. I made it a habit. I made it, a goal every day to like, okay, I got to think about me first. I got to choose me first. It's not narcissistic. It's not bad, because this is now self-preservation, because what I was doing before, the burnout, the sacrifice, the grind for anything and anyone else before me, that's not healthy. That's not healthy. Let's hold on before I get to that last little part. Let's look at the word narcissistic. So they call it a disorder. But it includes qualities of thinking very highly of oneself, needing admiration, believing others are inferior, and lacking empathy for others. See, that's where the divide is. So it can be disorder when you don't have a balance. You don't have a gauge. You know what I mean? You don't have a way to, like, all right, this is a little too much. I gotta eat today. I did not eat today. But I'm not going to starve my children. I'm not going to take from you because I got to eat. You know, if I need to get somewhere, okay, I need to move some things around so I can get to where I'm going, but I'm not going to step over you and trample you and push you down, step on your neck to put myself first, to love myself more, okay? So they have a high self-involvement, but don't let people twist that and make it seem like you're selfish. Now you're the problem because you're moving in a new way. You're setting boundaries. You're not taking less anymore. You're not putting yourself first. You're not considering yourself first, your feelings, your emotions, and things like that. Okay, so I just wanted to insert that because it can be attacked when you start treating yourself better, speaking more kindly to yourself. You know, we can't have this crabs in the barrel mentality about self-love and self-care. Okay, so on my journey, what I was missing was a femininity. Now, masculine and feminine are not just pink is for girls, blue is for boys. Okay? This is an energy description. This is a vibe description. And these are strengths that we can draw from. Is being in your masculine good at times? Absolutely. Okay, let me share some examples of being in your masculine and how that's necessary. Masculine energy, being in your masculine, is thinking, action, being a problem solver, a go-getter, a hustler, a grinder, being direct, being structured, goal-oriented, rational, having that willpower. Okay, but you can be so much in that you don't find the joy and the play and the ease and the softness of enjoying everything that you're working so hard for. Okay? So I was missing that feminine aspect of my life. I was showing up very serious. I'm and rightly so, because I needed to work two jobs at a certain time. I had to think things through. I had to plan my future life. But then I had to reel it back and find that balance. So feminine energy wasn't just for me. Oh, I discovered makeup. I started keeping my nails up. I started wearing more dresses and, dating better and receiving and asking for help and letting men woo me and impress me and, whisk me off my feet. Those are all fun and good, but feminine energy actually is describing the strength and the ability to flow, being in your emotions, being subtle, being graceful, creating, nurturing, being creative, ease, being receptive, being intuitive, being vulnerable, rhythm, balance, peace, being lighter. So I needed more of that. And when I started nurturing myself in that aspect, my acne cleared up, my bags, started diminishing, my eyes started feeling brighter, looking brighter. I had more energy. And first I quit one job, then I quit my main job, and then I was able to do the life coaching thing, be with family, think of my ideas and decorate my home and not lead and not be the willpower behind our life, finance and money moves and all these things. Okay, That is what femininity did to me. Now let's define the femininity. It is the qualities or attributes regarded as characteristics of women or girls. That's, the technical side. But now I'm going to read this from mine. What is this website? Hold on. Let me make sure I read it. What is it? It's not coming up. Stop it. Here we go. Mindbodygreen.com. Sorry. So your feminine side is expressed when you move in the flow of life. You embrace your creative energy, you dance and play, and you are attuned to the eternal process. So think, the process and the flow of Mother Nature is the same type of energy. And the seasons, importantly, these traits are not associated with gender. I said that. The set of traits we've come to define as feminine do stem from expectations that we use to place on women throughout history to behave in a certain way, but we know that even men need some femininity sometimes, and even sometimes we need a little bit of that masculine energy sometimes. Likewise, the traits associated with being masculine are traits used to have the same expectations of men. But today, we know people of all genders can have these traits and attributes and benefit from them both. Okay? But being more in your feminine will really save you from burning out, overthinking, having anxiety, having depression, and the weight of the world on your shoulders, because too much of that is detrimental. And we've seen throughout history that a lot of single mothers and Black women especially succumb to that. And it causes all these other issues. Okay? So that is another part of the self-care that we need to identify, because when you have those things in your lives, those lead to unhappiness, unfulfillment, and health issues as well. And the last thing that I wanted to encourage you to explore are the sections, the little subcategories of self-care. So there's the physical, the intellectual, the social, spiritual, and the emotional. So you're going to explore each one of these categories for yourself. And we all have different needs, and we all speak a different love language. Okay? So when you take the time to figure out who you are at your core, what are your strengths, what are your skills, what are your talents, what are your passions, and what you need in every area of these categories, that calls for a pretty confident woman. And again, this isn't done in a day. This isn't done in a week. This is a thing where you're trying, you're learning, you're going back to the drawing board, you're journaling, you're keeping track, you're exploring, you're saying, maybe not that, maybe let's try something different. But every day when you wake up and you think about yourself first and what you're going to do and how you're going to show up and how you're going to make yourself feel, how you're going to love on yourself even more, how you're going to care for yourself even deeper, that is a relationship and the deepest religion that you need to thrive, not just survive. Okay, that is the goal here. And that is not selfish, that is not sinful, and this damn sure isn't narcissistic, because no one else is going to save you. No one else can save you. No one else knows what you need but you. Okay? If you need to tell yourself you're beautiful, you're getting in that mirror and you're telling yourself you're beautiful. If you need to go drink some water and get some exercise, you're gonna motivate yourself and push yourself to do those things. Okay? We'll get into the feminine or goddess archetypes in the next one, but that is just another level of learning and understanding character possibilities in your life. Like another way to look at who are you? And there is this idea that these characters, and you could be more than one, help you identify and embody these personalities, attributes, and even fears. And embracing your fear and looking at the things that aren't so pretty, there's also strength in that. You need to know. A weakness isn't a bad thing. You just need to know, okay, where you need to pour more attention. where you need to be more gentle with yourself, where you need to, support yourself a little more or get help. Okay? So these are all deeper ways to understand caring for yourself and loving on yourself. And I hope that makes sense. Good luck to you. And don't forget, this is a journey and you have a lifetime for this lifestyle. And you're not alone. You can do this. Every woman at every age deserves this, can do this, and can succeed and thrive. And that is the success. That is the win. Okay, that is changing the world. That is the wave. That is being great. Is being the best you. Okay? Peace, love, bye.